What would you do if your own child abandoned you? Imagine, after all those years of giving everything you had, your child, the one you've raised, loved, and sacrificed for, just turns their back on you, leaves you behind, not because they have to, but because they choose to. This is the story of Linda Parker, a mother who thought she knew love, loss, and betrayal. But she had no idea how deep it would cut and how much she would lose. This is the heartbreaking, suspense-filled journey of a mother who thought she was loved but found herself abandoned. Emily's story. I wake up at 6 a.m. like I always do. It's still dark outside, but that's nothing new. The silence in my little house in Austin, Texas is always there. I'm Emily Parker. I'm 59 and I live alone. My husband passed away 8 years ago, leaving me with only my son, Ethan. Ethan moved to New York many years ago. He built a life there, a big apartment, a good job, a beautiful family. I'm proud of him, I am. But as time passed, I noticed something. He started calling less. He stopped visiting. The space between us grew wider and wider, and now I'm here, alone. Every day I wake up, clean, cook, and sit alone at night, remembering the days when this house was full of life. I keep Ethan's photos in my room, looking at them every day, remembering the boy I raised. But those memories feel distant now. And then, one day, it happened. The knock on the door. I opened it, and there he was. Ethan. Ethan, I gasped. I couldn't believe my eyes. You really came? He smiled, but there was something off about it. It wasn't the warm, familiar smile I remembered. It felt distant, cold. I've missed you, Mom, he said, stepping inside. I could barely contain myself. I hugged him so tightly that for a moment I thought I might never let go. My heart raced with excitement. My son was finally here. We sat down, and I made tea, trying to keep calm. After all these years of waiting, he was finally home. How's Sarah? And the kids? I asked, forcing a smile, trying to stay composed. They're fine, he replied, his voice stiff, and then he said something that made my stomach drop. Mom, I think it's time you came with me to New York. I froze. What do you mean? I asked, confused. I'm worried about you. You're alone here. You're getting older. I don't want you to live like this anymore, he explained, his voice serious. Come live with us. You'll be happy there. You'll be with me, the kids. We'll take care of you. I couldn't breathe. This was my home. The place where I had lived my entire life. The place where your father had lived. How could I leave it all behind? I can't, I said softly. This is my home. I can't just leave. He looked at me with a sadness in his eyes. Mom, this house is old. It's not safe for you anymore. In New York, you'll have your own room. You'll be close to the kids. It will be better for you. I felt torn. I didn't want to leave, but deep down I knew he was right. Maybe it was time. Maybe I did need to start over. But could I really leave everything behind? The house, my memories, my life? The next morning, Ethan said, Mom, we should sell this house. You don't need it anymore. You'll come with us. You can use the money for a fresh start. I looked at him, and for a moment I thought, maybe he really loves me. Maybe he's right, I agreed. I sold the house. Ethan took the money and we packed my bags. We went to the airport together. I was nervous, but also relieved. At last, I would be with my son. But something felt wrong. At the airport, Ethan said, Wait here, Mom. I'll bring a wheelchair for you. It's too far to walk. I'll be right back. Okay, I said, sitting down. 5 minutes passed. Then 10, then 20. Where was he? 30 minutes. 45 minutes. Panic started to rise in my chest. I stood up. My heart was pounding. My legs felt weak. Where was Ethan? Why hadn't he come back? I asked a nearby officer. Excuse me, have you seen my son? He's bringing a wheelchair for me. We're going to New York. The officer gave me a concerned look. Do you have a photo of him? He asked. I quickly pulled out a photo of Ethan from my bag. The officer nodded and said, Please wait here. I'll check inside. I sat there, my mind racing. Why hadn't Ethan returned? What was taking so long? It felt like hours passed before the officer returned. His face was serious, grim. Ma'am, he said softly, I'm sorry. Your son, he's already boarded the flight. He left without you. I froze. My world stopped for a moment. No, I whispered. That's not possible. Ethan wouldn't leave me. I saw him. The officer said gently. He went alone. He didn't take the wheelchair. He boarded the plane alone. Tears filled my eyes. My son had abandoned me. He'd left me at the airport, alone. The officer, Robert Miller, didn't leave me alone. He saw the pain in my eyes and didn't walk away. Ma'am, you can't stay here alone, he said. Please come with me. You can't stay here like this. I didn't want to burden him, but he insisted. It's not trouble. It's love. He called his wife Olivia and explained the situation. She welcomed me into their home. That night I cried myself to sleep. I missed Ethan. I missed my life. I missed my home. But these strangers, Robert and Olivia, gave me something I hadn't had in years. Love. The next morning, Robert received a phone call. He spoke in a low voice, and when he returned, his eyes were filled with sadness. I didn't know the truth yet. But Ethan's flight had crashed. There were no survivors. Robert didn't tell me. He knew I was still holding on to the hope that Ethan would return. Days passed, and I stayed with Robert and Olivia. They treated me like family. Robert made sure I saw the doctor. Olivia brought me food and cared for me. I never stopped praying for Ethan. I prayed for his soul, for the children he left behind. I prayed that no mother would ever feel the pain I felt at that airport. One day, Robert asked me, "Do you ever think about going back to your house?" I looked at him and smiled. I already lost that house, Robert. But I found something more. I found a family. Ethan was gone. But I had found a son I truly needed. And that was the story of Emily Parker, a mother who never imagined the depth of betrayal she would face from the one person she loved the most. A son who promised love but chose to leave her behind. What would you do if you were in Emily's place? Would you have followed your child? Or would you have stayed in the place that held all your memories? Sometimes the people we trust the most can be the ones who hurt us the deepest. But it's also through these moments of pain that we can find unexpected love and support from those around us. Emily found a family when she thought all was lost. If you were touched by this story, leave your thoughts in the comments below. Like, share, and subscribe for more heart-wrenching tales. Thank you for watching. And remember, love can be complicated, but it's always worth the journey.